You knew when we shut that door what was going on, didn't you? What, you said that you were your job over there.
I was an M60 machine gunner. I was in the infantry. I didn't say it right. I was in the infantry.
I'm just taking notes, that's all I'm just doing.
Yeah, so I was in the infantry. And then we moved a whole lot by helicopter.
Okay.
Cause
So are you the one in the gun hanging out the helicopter?
No.
How about at the top of the truck?
Never rode no trucks. I was the one walking in through the bushes in the woods with
a mega gun. With a super gun.
Well, it won't nothing to what they got now, but I mean it was the thing of the day. But
you see the one where the bullets are lined up? I mean, all the thing it feeds it through it, and then somebody behind them's carrying some more, and it feeds it through it.
It's got that big long
bales. Yeah, it's a bale.
Okay.
But no, they used the M60s in helicopters too. But no, I didn't hang out of it. You could get a job doing that. They didn't live long.
Yep.
They died.
The Agent Orange. Did you have any Agent Orange?
So far.
We worked it. No, I have no problem with it, but we worked where it was.
You were
on
in
Highway 13, which they call Thunder Road. We done a whole lot of the security work when they were spraying it, and but never had no problem with it.
Huh?
Did
I hadn't yet.
Did you tell you had 2 Purple Hearts?
Yeah. I'm just writing little notes.
That's some kind of impressive. What did you get the Purple Hearts for?
Shrapnel in my leg and my arm, and then my back got banged up.
I know we said we weren't going to ask you nothing in depth, but your leg.
It just got peppered from.
It got peppered. Somebody, they were shooting at y'all, and you were shooting at them, and somebody got in your legs.
Yeah, it wasn't bullets. It was like she showed you. And
just shrapnel?
Just shrapnel. Yeah. And see, it was all pretty much superficial, and they got it all out. And then Dr. Gross said, he told me that glass, if you get glass in your body, it'll work out. He says, most time metal is going to go to the bone.
Huh.
Wow.
And they told me it was a tube of infection that big, right down on the thigh.
Okay.
Because he told they was going to go in there and get it.
And
when I woke up, it was a 9-inch place.
It looked like a Polish sausage.
He said that's what it looked like.
When he got to his knee, it was beginning to die. It had nowhere to go because of the bone. And that's when his
like
knee
infection had just encapsulated in there.
His knee started swelling, and he didn't know all this was going. And Dr. Gross said it was a miracle that it grew and it went all around the tendons, and they could pull it out and didn't have to cut his leg real bad. I mean, they cut it to get it out, but it didn't damage any of the tendons or the muscles.
No, the nerves on
the nerves were cut.
Yeah.
One side of it, and sometimes it'll just tinkle and sting. You'll almost grab it, but that's could be the same thing with appendicitis or something else.
So that happened while you were there, but you stayed over there.
Yeah.
And then came back after 300.
I went to the hospital with that, and
I thought they sent you home.
At the hospital.
They didn't send you home for just anything.
I got to meet. I shook Jimmy Stewart's hand. He was on the Goodwill tour. And Colonel Patton's son. General Patton's son, he was a colonel, and he was with Jimmy Stewart.
You're kidding. General Patton's son.
Megan won't remember this. You remember the little Polaroid you take?
Yeah.
Shoot it out.
Yeah, and Megan's got a Polaroid.
Right. Well, see, over there, they had all these press people with them. And they give you, I had 2 pictures. I think pictures still stuck in the book, but they didn't wipe them with that stuff. So over a period of time, it's just old black dot mess.
Faded out. General Patton's son.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Jimmy Stewart.
The film that he did bring back, he brought it back to have it developed here in the States, and they never sent it back to him. Somebody
no, it said it got lost.
Somebody kept it.
Probably did.
What you want?
Probably did.
I got a few pictures, but they mostly. being clowns.
All right, now you got to tell me what you meant last night on the phone about. You said when I got there I was burning shit, and when I left I was burning shit.
I was waiting for you
what do you mean burn?
I didn't go
that. You could have.
Yeah.
No, but
what does that mean?
No.
See, they build like a little tree.
Okay.
Like a toilet, maybe far near that wall. That'll be 15 seats in there, and under each one is a 55-gallon drum they've cut off about like this. Well, you got a bunch going. Well, after everybody's moaning and crap or whatever, you go out there and pull them things out and pour diesel fuel in them and burn it.
And then once it burns out, you put it back under there.
Yeah, put it back under there.
Glory
Well, see, while we went in Long Beach, it was hundreds and hundreds going through there every day. They accumulated quite a.
I bet they did.
I mean, it just won't me. 2 or 3 more. There's probably hundreds burning shit. But anyway, that was. But like I said, the first time I was one of them pulling the cans out. You have old tongs and then when I left coming back, I was a E5 sergeant. I just had a detail. I stood there and made sure they did it.
But Doug said, he said, when I went, I was burning shit. When I came back, I was burning shit. He said, and they threw you right on a plane, didn't care that you smelled like it.
Yeah. We come home in fatigues and whatever, and
But all of your boots on it.
Yeah.
Your mama left his boots outside.
Now, did you know him when he was in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Were y'all married
No.
before he went to Vietnam? No, but you knew him.
Yeah.
And y'all got together, though, after he got back. Okay.
After, what, year, 2 years?
Oh my gosh.
But
I think that's interesting.
Well, the first time he was wounded, I guess it's when with his leg, it was December the 9th. And that was the day his granddaddy died.
No. It won't December night. It was in September.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the day your granddaddy, but you didn't know your granddaddy.
Because when they took this out, they took it out at the end of October. It was almost 30 years to the month.
Isn't that crazy?
But, when Dr. Gross took it out, he said that, what do you call it when they send it off to the pathologist?
Pathology. You send the pathology out.
He sent 2. He told me, he says, I sent it to see what kind of infection it is. Says it'll be 1 or 2. One of the 2, he was sure. He says they were common infections in Vietnam.
So he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
Well, now, I think that's hard right there,
To recognize it.
What war was your daddy in?
He's in World War II.
Your daddy was?
Yeah.
Oh, my
gosh. But,
my grandpa was World War II, Papa Wynn. He was a paratrooper.
He went in as trained to be a pilot. And somebody's vision or something, and he couldn't, so he just went in. Then it wasn't the Air Force, it was the Army Air Force. And then he just went back to an Army job.
Right.
He was in Okinawa. He never talked about it until he had Alzheimer's. In his last few months, he would start talking about stuff that we wondered if then what he went through and it was coming back in his head, or I don't know.
Did you tell him when you got back that he didn't shake your hand, he jumped off all the steps?
Well, he did shake my hand. You got to know my daddy. He never told me he loved me until I married her. And Kathy's the type, she's going to tell you she loves you.
She loves you.
Well, she mellowed Daddy out and got him straight.
Mellowed. You mellowed his daddy out.
Meg, when I went over there, my daddy, I was over 365 days. My daddy wrote me 365 letters.
We wish we'd kept.
But it was like, well, the ones I had over there, I couldn't bring him home. But the first paragraph was like a form letter. I mean, he'd sit down and then you'd have a little paragraph. Maybe his second wife, his current wife at that time, sometimes she'd put a paragraph in it. But, and I got a few, like after I left, they sent it back, and it caught up with me. Well, it sent it back to Debbie because I wasn't over there. And I flew into Greensboro, so Mama lived over there, and I went to see hers on Sunday afternoon. And they knew probably I'd be home that afternoon. And him and Faye was sitting on the front porch up there. It seemed like Grace, maybe, I don't know, her Faye's sisters, 3 or 4. And I had my car out there, and I pulled in the driveway. It's about 5 or 6 steps up Dad's front porch. He hit one of them coming down. He didn't hug me or nothing else. He shook my hand and says, "Glad to have you home."
Oh.
But now
his family wasn't affectionate.
But
some are just not.
But at the
Some are just
same,
not.
he always said when he got a letter from home, he knew how much it meant to him.
And that's why he sent that to you.
If he told you he gonna do something, he damn well gonna do it. I mean, they know, and he did. He, like I said, like a form letter out for different date, and like a form letter, but
then he'd add a little something extra in it.
and some of it won't. Would he eat for supper? Or, I mean, but you know, I got.
But you got that letter every day.
And so sometimes we get a mail in the field, and you liable to get a week.
Yeah.
8-10 days at one time.
Not like they delivered it every day.
But
you tell you would go out in the country for 30 days at a time, and not that bad.
Yeah. That's what I told Maggie. I told her like she went out and mowed the grass every day and worked in the yard and slept out there and then couldn't take a bath.
Couldn't take a bath.
Days.
I can't even
you
imagine.
could dust off. But now we
and you didn't have baby wipes back then either, did you?
we'd get resupplied, and we'd get like a hot meal. We got resupplied, and we'd get clean clothes, and they was big. You always had extra socks and foot powder because your feet were just literally rotting in the monsoon. And, you change it, and I mean the medic could come around, make you take your boots off. He'd look at your feet and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And
did you tell her you were afraid of water?
No.
He's afraid.
That ain't all my damn secrets.
Don't tell all my damn secrets.
He's afraid of water. He's always been because.
Oh, you really?
I don't like water.
When he almost drowned, his daddy took him fishing and he fell in and he almost drowned. Anyway, he's always been afraid of water. So when they would drop them out of a helicopter over there and they drop them in rice paddies, Doug's head never went under the water. He said he started doing this.
I run in the first time it was a bomb cradle. I mean, they didn't drop us up there. They just come in close. I jumped out and went in a bomb cradle, which water ain't like that. It's rice paddy. But I went in the hole, and I never quit running. I just run out of that dude. I mean,
he was walking on water.
We'd cross rivers on ropes. My head never went on.
I bet you still hated that though.